Explorer screen. Okay, so if I click on the drop-down arrow after lesson 1, I should get some actions that are available. And as I look through there, I don't see Dropbox as one of the shortcuts, so I have to take the long cut. So let's see. Dropbox, is that in communication? Nope. I'll bet it's an assessment. Yes, it's an assessment. So if I click on Dropbox, I want to create a new one. And following kind of along with our theme, we'll just call it the Lesson 1 Dropbox. I tend to use very literal descriptive titles so that when you see something, you know that it is in fact a Dropbox or it is a forum or what have you. We're just going to, I think, use all of the defaults for now, since all of those would be more than enough fodder for another workshop on their own that might just follow in the near future.
You want to create a graded item for us so that we can go back and check the grade book later?
Let's see here.
About midway where it says grade item.
There it is, right in front of me. Okay, under grade item, I can hit the drop down, and since there's already one in there, it says lesson 1 assignment. I'm going to guess that perhaps that is it. Okay. See, I was off my game that day. I should have said lesson 1 Dropbox assignment, and then I wouldn't have to guess.
You made that 10 points.
10 points. And of course, you would be much more familiar with your content and you wouldn't have to guess or remember these things. Or if not, we would have to click out, go find it, and click back. And of course, we could put in some specific instructions if we were fleshing this out in more detail, but for now, we're just creating a generic Dropbox. And I think that for now, we've filled out at least the minimum amount of details, so I can hit save and close. I've created the Dropbox, but where is it? If I go back to content and I look at lesson 1, I see it currently contains a checklist, but it doesn't contain my Dropbox. So I did the minimum required to create the Dropbox, but I didn't put it anywhere except in the gradebook, which I think would probably stress the students out a little bit. So if I come back to lesson 1, and once again, I'm going to take advantage of this new quick link, not new quick link, but new quick link choice on the menu choice. That's how you add in something that is a D2L item. And since the little asterisk is after there, that reminds me that I don't have to put the title in. I can skip that step and just use the quick link button. And as I pick Dropbox, it's going to let me pick from the existing Dropboxes, and there's only one, and it's marked lesson 1, so it's probably the right one. And I'm going to skip all these other features because we won't need those. And now my lesson 1 contains a Dropbox.
Phil, if you could do me a favor.
Yes.
You just showed me how it was to be the instructor to actually create the assignment. But could you impersonate a student and submit an assignment so we can see what it looks like from the student's perspective?
Yes, and that's actually a good question, because we kind of saw what the view was like in the newer version of D2L, in that the checklist came up automatically and the student kind of got a nice view of what was in the lesson. Okay, let's pick my faux student, Dakota Redstone, hit the drop-down menu and actually impersonate her. So for all intents and purposes, it looks to the system like I am her. So you have to be careful when using this tool that you don't do a lot of work, because it will look like she did it. Okay, now we want to go to the Dropbox.
Yes, please.
Okay, so if we go into content, this is what the student would see. Go into the Dropbox. And shall we actually upload a file?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I left some sample files for you.
Okay, and these were the files that you had mentioned would be in the accessible at the link down below. So I'm going to browse.
One above that, the D2L, there you go. And then let's do the Sesame Street assignments. There you go. And DR, you find the...
Yep, directions and then her initials. And this was the file format that he set up for his students so that the file names would match, but their signature is pretty much their initials is the suffix. So this is Dakota Redstone's file. And it's just one file, so we're going to upload that. And she could add some comments if she needed to, and submit.
So basically what we see is a very plain text-oriented view all throughout 10.0. And if we were an instructor, how would I know if a student completed that assignment in 10.0?
I would have to go back to being the instructor. And then I would have to go into the right menu, and I just happen to remember that that was under assessments. And then I would have to go into the Dropbox. And I do get a little bit of help here with the balloon help in that it says, when I hover over it, Dropbox submissions. And as I scroll down through here, there's actually only one person listed with something under them. So it's well, it's a short list anyway, but I can tell that she had submitted something on a particular date and time. And since the option to grade and leave feedback is here, that would tell me that I hadn't graded or left feedback for it
Could
yet.
you click on that for me? And let's see what the Dropbox grading looks like.
We have a split screen. It looks like we can use the viewer. If I click on it, it opens up here rather than defaulting to opening up in Word.
So even in 10.0, they have the document viewer in the Dropbox so that the faculty member doesn't have to download the file. They can see it right from there.
You could grade it online.
And then if they wanted to, they can give that student 8 out of 10 if that's what the student earned. And then publish it or give them feedback if need be. Yeah.
Do we want to leave a comment for feedback or
Sure, go ahead. You can be creative.
I'm not sure I'm up to being creative here, but looking down through there, I can say nice use of bold text.
So Phil, how's that blood pressure doing?
Not as high as it was before, but having seen the nicer interface in the newer version, I'm beginning to see where the older one is lacking in that
You never want to
department.
go back to 10.0 after you've been to 10.2.
Even the features that are kind of comparable just aren't executed as well. And it's just not quite as convenient for me or for the student.